Hey, what's up, world? Hey, I'm gonna jump right into it tonight. Hey, listen, there were two young men and they both wanted a job. So they went to their neighborhood grocery store. They applied there. They both got hired because they needed the workers. And they knew from the jump this was going to be a crappy job. But they both had motives of why they wanted to work. So kid number one, he goes there and he shows up what he wants to. He's doing bad. I mean, honestly, he's smoking on the job, doing all types of stuff, and just not doing a good job. The supervisor notices it, and he's going to talk to him about it. Now, kid number two is doing everything, is on there. I mean, they're on time, doing all of his job obligations. Everything he says he's supposed to do, he's doing it. So a week passes that the kid number one, who's not doing the best, he comes in, and a customer comes in, and they yell at him. This kid gets so mad about it, he throws his stuff and he leaves. That same customer yells at kid number two. Kid number two listens, fixes the problem, apologizes for something he didn't even have to do. The person leaves out happy and even apologizes for screaming at them. His supervisor pulls him to the side and says, "Hey, listen, what's going on? Because it seems like you and your friend, you're just completely different. He quit in a situation where you stayed for. What's up with that?" And the young man, he says, "Listen, my friend, he got this job because he has a new girlfriend. He wants to buy her stuff. He wants to put gas in his car. He wants fresh shoes. That's what he's here for." So when somebody yelled at him, for him it wasn't worth it. So he just left. And the supervisor said, "Well, what about you?" And he said, "Well, for me it's a little bit different. See, I'm the first one that's ever going to go to college in my family. And the only thing that's stopping me is a couple $100. And we're short almost $1,000. And I feel if I work here, then I can get that money. But also, I can be the example to my siblings that are coming up behind me. It's 5 of them. So that lady screaming at me wasn't more important than the reason why I'm here." What I'm pointing at tonight, y'all, is the fact that your why has to be bigger than you. The reason why you're doing what you do has to be bigger than you actually are. Because there's going to come a point where if it's only about you, and if only about you and your feelings, then when something pushes you or something is bigger than you and it collides with you, you will back down, you will fall because you don't have any skin in the game. It's not about anybody else, it's about you. It's too personal. But if your why is bigger than you, then it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what people say to you. It doesn't matter about what the opposition says because it's bigger than you and it's a reason why you have to do what you do. See, a young man asked me, "Andre, can you come into my school?" And he's a youth group kid. So I said, "Yeah, no questions. I'm there. Let's go." So I come to his school and his mom is there. His siblings are there. We sit down at this table. It's like this whole fancy arrangement of things. And I'm looking at the signs and it says Father Appreciation Day. And I'm like, oh, I get to meet his father. So I'm talking to his mom, like, I'm really looking forward to meeting his father. She's kind of quiet. She doesn't say too much about it. She just shakes her head. The young man who brought me there, he speaks first. He's the speaker of the night. And he says, "Listen, I know it's Father Appreciation Night, so let's clap it up for the fathers." Everybody claps. And he says, "But I don't have a father." He says, "It's so bad that if my father walked in right now, I couldn't tell the difference between him and any of your fathers. And while I don't have a father, I have an Andre. This guy who's been there for me no matter what the situations are, for better or for worse. And when I'm feeling down, I ask myself, what would he say? What would he do?" And that keeps me going. And when I can't focus, my mom asks me, "What would Andre say? What would Andre do?" And for me, that's my why. My why is that there's a generation coming up behind us and they look up to us, and we don't necessarily always want them to look up to us, but they do. And what are we going to do, and why am I doing the things I'm doing if these kids look up to us? See, nobody's passing this next generation anything, just like nobody passed us anything. So it's up to us, and my why is that I want these kids to have a better future than we did. So that's why I can be positive. That's why I can go out to these things. That's why I can do these things no matter what my work schedule looks like, because my why is bigger than who I am. It doesn't matter what people say about me because I'm passing things off to the next generation, and that's my why. And I want you this week, look and please pray on it. What is your why? Why are you doing the things you're doing? Because if it's only about you, what happens when you collide with something that's greater than you? See, when it's not about you, you don't care about how you feel. When it's bigger than you, it doesn't matter about people hurting your feelings, because there's a thing that's at stake, and what's at stake, it should be bigger than you. This week I'm asking you to find your why. Why are you doing these things? And if it's not bigger than you, you might want to adjust your why. Listen, I love you, and I'm hoping that you have a beautiful week, alright?